Kwasi.
Well, I mean, the issue is not that simple. There are some complications. And the first thing I like to say is that Gabby, unlike Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, is not contesting for the flag bearership of the New Patriotic Party. He's not hoping to be on the ballot for the 2028 elections. So what he does and says can be different from what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is expected to do and say. They're not the same. So that comparison, I don't think that is tenable. So Gabby can apologize, okay? If apology is wrong, Gabby can apologize and get away with it. After all, who is Gabby? Private legal practitioner, former cousin or nephew of the president.
No, they're still cousins. He's not former.
Yeah, but not of the president.
Oh, okay, of the former president. You mean, it's supposed to say his former cousin. That's what I said, yes.
Yeah,
he's a cousin of the former president.
Of the former president, that's what I mean.
Right.
So really, what is his locus? He's not the general secretary of the party. He probably may not even be a card-bearing member of the party. Probably, I don't know. You understand? So that is Gabby's status. Okay. So to say that he's urging others to do what he's not doing, I don't think is really a strong point. Because they're different people in different spaces, acting differently and so on. So that's number one. Number two, Gabby makes an interesting point, and it is this. I've had so many apologies, and Moro, let's be honest. You hear the apologies, and then you stand back and you say, but what are these people apologizing for?
Okay.
Oh, we are very sorry, please forgive us. And I said, forgive you for what? Because we don't know what we are asking forgiveness for. Okay? So to that extent, I think Gabby makes an interesting point. What is the apology about? Because if you're apologizing, you must be apologizing for something really specific. You understand? What is it that the apology is about? I don't know. Maybe you guys know. I don't. Collins, maybe you know why you are going all over the place apologizing. Apologizing for what? Come on, tell us what you're apologizing for. You understand? So Gabby's point is that if you're just going about rendering apology and nobody understands what the apology is about and so on, it may be a self-inflicted blow come 2028.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. Because in 2028, what are you coming to tell us? You came and told us that we failed, and that we should forgive you. Where is the evidence that we are not going to fail this time? I mean, how can we convince ourselves that the failure is for the past and would not find repetition in the future? And so apology is not something which ought to be done lightly, as a political gimmick and so on. Right now, it seems to me the apology is becoming just a political gimmick of no real value. And that's the complaint that Gabby is making. And it seems to me that there is some validity to the claims that he's making about this, if you like, reckless apology. You understand? So let's put that down. Then he claims, and this appears to be a defense of his uncle, okay, that the impression is created that his uncle's government didn't do anything for the people of Ashanti.
He's not happy about that.
And that it is unfortunate because they did a lot and they did what the MPs demanded that they do. This is a matter of fact. It's either a fact or it's not a fact. Now, the minority MPs from Ashanti have come and said, at no point did they make the demands that Gabby claims that they made. Gabby has come back to apologize, interestingly. Is that an admission that what he said was not true? Gabby's apology, what does it really mean? Does it mean that what he said about the MPs was not true?
Yeah.
And if what he said about the MPs was not true, why did he say things that are not true about the MPs? You know, so it's just murky, you know. Look, our friends in the New Patriotic Party, our fellow countrymen in the New Patriotic Party must be told that elections ultimately about the promotion of the well-being of our people. You understand? Their living standards, their living conditions, and so on. That's what it ought to be about, not gimmicks. And we've seen too many gimmicks in our electioneering campaigns that makes me sick and sometimes destroys even good candidates. You know, there's going to be an election, and then they go and consult some election specialists, and they say, look, the people who can give us the votes to win are young people. Young people like a certain type of music. So every time you appear on the platform, go and shake your waist to that type of music. And we've seen that. You know, so you've seen candidates jumping onto platforms, shaking their waist in some unrhythmic, you know, fashion, and actually sometimes looking like yo-yos. You know, so what is this? I mean, you read Arthur Kennedy's book, Chasing the Elephant into the Bush.
Yeah.
And he makes the point about how much money was spent on useless concerts at the beach. And the politicians are still not learning. You know, they are giving more to gimmicks, childish gimmicks and so on, than discussing the substantive issues of our day. You know, so to some extent, I think that is what Gabby is attempting to talk about. But then he himself at a certain point has to run away from his claims quickly because I think he doesn't want to be in the eye of the storm and so on. But I think the essential point here is that our politics should be about real substance. The essential point here is that these gimmicks of just apologize. As for Ghanaians, if you apologize, they will sympathize with you and so on. You should just leave all of that in the background. You know, look, there are concrete problems facing us. Right now, as we sit on this platform, I'm told that some elite schools have been closed down in Accra. I'm sure you are aware.
I've heard that too.
Because of a viral infection which is running loose on some of the campuses. So that's a major national concern, viral infection. We've heard about World Health Organization's warnings that COVID-19 could come back with some vim. So the viral infection we're seeing on some of these elite campuses and so on, is it in any way related to a COVID-type infection and so on? We need to know.
Right.
We need. It's a major important issue that we need to address.
Okay.
You know, right now as we sit here, and we said that repeatedly over and over again, there are many, many people who are being born in mining areas without limbs, with defective eyes, with you know, defective organs like kidneys and so on. You know, that's a major issue.
Yeah.
If we were to give you power 2028, how are you going to address these issues? You understand? How are you going to address these issues? Right now, as we sit here, cocoa production is going down by 50%. If we gave you power in 2028, are you going to revamp the cocoa sector?
Yep.
How are you going to revamp it? That's a major issue for us. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, this morning we spent considerable time talking about reparative justice for Africa. Where is your position on reparative justice for Africa? You understand? We are still in an era where women are being discriminated against. You know, maternity leave for women is 6 weeks before birth and 6 weeks after birth, subjecting women and children to terrible conditions of life and so on. What is your position on this matter? Maternity leave for women. You understand? So these are the issues we're talking about, and stop the concerting, you know, the Jaguar Joker attitude to politics, you know, the shaking of waist on platforms, and rendering of apologies that we don't know what they're about.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
I think essentially maybe that is what Gabby wanted to say. I don't know, but maybe that's what he wanted to say.
All right.
And if that is what he wanted to say, then he has a very strong point, because our politics has become so pedestrian. Our politics is not related to the concrete issues that confront our people.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
So, please, I mean, those of you who want to be president and so on, and Gabby asked a very important question.
Right.
I mean, if you come and you yourself confess that you did so very badly, why do you want to come back?
Yeah.
Okay. That's Gabby's statement.
Yeah.
I mean, we heard him loud and clear. He said, you came and said that you were a total failure. We didn't say it. You came and told us that you performed so horribly and that you are begging for forgiveness.
Yeah.
If you are begging for forgiveness, go and stay at home.
Yeah.
You can't be begging for forgiveness and coming back for the power to come and mess us up again.
Yeah.
I think this is clear message that Gabby put out there.
But you ask a very, very, very important question, and we wish that if we had Gabby on, we could ask him, but I doubt if he'll grant this interview, because you asked, are you apologizing for what you said or where you said it and how you said it? You know, we need to know that. Is it where? As in the platform, or what exactly you said, which is, are you now saying it is not true, or you're saying it is true, but I shouldn't have said it at where I said it, and I shouldn't have said it how I said it.
But this is the whole problem with the apologies. People are apologizing to us and we don't know what they're apologizing for.
Yeah, we need to know.
This is the whole problem.
Okay.
And they think that just by saying I'm sorry, you know, it will win our sympathy. Please, you are not winning any sympathy by apologizing for nothing.
Okay.
You know, or for apologizing for things which are only in your head. You understand?
Okay.
That's the whole point about these apologies. They have lost meaning.
Okay.